Congratulations, graduates. It really is a privilege to be talking with you today, even if it's through a video recording. I graduated from this same school 19 years ago. And just to prove it, before I could put IDEO on my resume, I worked in the coat room at Rick's and served breakfast at Afternoon Delight. I remember graduation as a moment of deep uncertainty. I didn't have a job. I knew I wanted to work in design. I knew even more I wanted to join some friends in San Francisco. So I had a car, pointed it west, and drove to that city to see what might happen. I recognize that that story likely seems distant and even trivial at this moment. As you are graduating into a time of unprecedented uncertainty, we are experiencing tectonic shifts because of this tragic pandemic. We are all uncertain. We all don't know. I certainly don't. But in the next few minutes, I want to talk about something that took me a decade to appreciate, something I find particularly relevant to this moment now. The best ideas, the bold, beautiful ones, walk hand in hand with not knowing. They travel together. Doubt, uncertainty, creativity, inspiration. In my career as a designer, I've had the opportunity to work in projects and collaborations with all kinds of different partners, nonprofits, corporations, foundations, startups, all asking different versions of essentially the same question. What should we do next? And when the good ideas emerge, the big, bold, worthy ones, they are almost certainly born out of moments of not knowing. Not knowing if we can do it, not knowing if people will go for it, not knowing if we can build it, not knowing if it can be funded. At IDEO.org, the organization I co-founded to use design for a more just and inclusive world, we were asked questions we didn't know the answers to all the time. Questions like, how do you connect teenage girls in sub-Saharan Africa with reproductive health services and contraception? Answers we didn't have, and those asking us didn't know either. But out of that uncomfortable not knowing, and through a lot of listening to girls themselves, we emerged with surprising and human solutions that worked. Nail salons, fashion shows, aspirational brands that brought reproductive health to girls, rather than assuming girls should go to the clinic themselves to find it. We had to suggest things that at the time felt crazy. I remember walking into a meeting wondering if we'd be fired for asking our partners to believe an idea that was so out of the norm for them. But that impact of that work ultimately changed how foundations understood the value of design in tackling some of our world's trickiest problems. It's work I'm proud of, but I share first and foremost to connect you to that feeling of not knowing. For me, it's always there. I've learned to navigate it, and I've gotten more used to it over the years. But it never goes away. Doing something different, something interesting, pushes on our uncertainty, on our doubts. The point is, not knowing is fertile ground. And in this collective state of not knowing, the thing I do know is to walk towards it. Our world can't afford for you to hold back. I had the privilege of judging your Stamps Big Idea Award this past semester, and I was inspired and humbled by the audacity, relevance, and creativity in those submissions. Your winner, an anti-consumerism camp for girls, to connect girls to the skills of understanding themselves, rather than the advertising that's coming for them daily. Amazing. And weird and unusual and so right on. You are the creative leaders we need in this moment. This is the craziest setting out of all time. Without ceremony or tradition, without the givens every generation before you has had, myself included. But it's heartening to think that one of the shifts that might come from this pandemic is that our wider world is open to be reimagined. Moments of collective not knowing are everywhere right now. So take it from a girl who worked at Rick's, who got in her car without a plan. We need you to push us forward and create the world everyone deserves. Like the creative leaders I know you are. It's your world you're stepping into, and you should be the ones to build it. Thank you.